Hi, my name is Christina Wojtek, and I would like to talk to you about the Keeping It Wild campaign for Texas. So the Texas Parks and Wildlife Department manages 96 state parks and historical sites in 98 counties, as well as 49 wildlife management areas that consist of nearly 1.1 million acres of public hunting areas that can be used by anyone in Texas. I'm going to explain to you why you should donate to the Keeping It Wild campaign. So, over 90 cents of every dollar that you donate goes to conserving Texas lands, water, wildlife, and key outreach programs. So, donating to the Keeping It Wild campaign will ensure that the rich natural resources, wildlife, and historical legacy of Texas will persist for future generations by investing in irreplaceable wildlife habitat and recreational lands, state parks and life-enhancing outdoor experiences, and habitat restoration and research. So here's 3 reasons why you should donate to the Keeping It Wild campaign. The first one is that this campaign will fund irreplaceable wildlife habitat and recreational lands. So it's no surprise that these lands are dwindling before our eyes. And the main reason is the constant increase in residential, commercial, agricultural, and coastal development. In one of the articles that I found dealing with northern bobwhite populations in Texas, a study done by Villarreal, Bruno, Fedenick, Brennan, and Rollins in 2016 showed that populations in Texas have been declining during the past several decades, and declines have been attributed to habitat loss. It is currently estimated that 50% of the coastal, inland, and the Gulf's wetlands have been lost, and that up to 80% of the Gulf's seagrasses have also been lost, according to gulfbase.org. So to counteract this, one of the examples that Texas Parks and Wildlife funds is buying these irreplaceable wildlife habitats, such as Powderhorn Ranch, which is seen here. It's a 17,351 acre place along the Texas coast in Calhoun County that will conserve a piece of property that is one of the largest remaining tracts of unspoiled coastal prairie in the state of Texas. Not only will this campaign help fund irreplaceable land, it will also help with state parks and outdoor adventures that you can only imagine. So it's no surprise that people are staying indoors more rather than going outdoors, and it's starting to show in our youth and the obesity rates. So in a study done in 2010 by Cooper, Page, Wheeler, Hildston, Brew, and Jago suggested that physical activity was more than 2.5-fold higher outdoors than indoors. So just by going outdoors, you can increase your physical activity by 2.5 times more. So some of the funds that this campaign is raising will go towards activities such as hiking and biking, camping and fishing and swimming, and there's so many more. You can go on Texas Parks and Wildlife website and just search activities, and you can see the whole page of them. The last thing that this campaign is raising money for is to find funds for habitat restoration and research. So our population is having a negative impact on the habitats around it just by destroying habitats to build new homes. And we need to fix that in order to see these species of Texas come back instead of our decreasing numbers that we're seeing. So, luckily, habitat restoration is possible. In a study done by Rudolph, Player, Jones, Williamson, Snackleford, Schaefer, and Pierce in 2014 shows that the results demonstrated that aggressive restoration of prairie remnants on the West Gulf Coast plain can rapidly establish prairie habitat and facilitate recolonization. The problem is it's not going to do this naturally. We're going to have to get in there and help and raise the funds for this in order to see some of the native species of Texas come back. Some species that this campaign is looking to focus on include the pronghorn, the bobwhite quail, the southern flounder, and the Guadalupe bass. Why these species? The answer is quite simple. They're increasingly declining in numbers, and if we don't do something about it soon, they will decline to a point where they're no longer existent. So in conclusion, donating to the Keeping It Wild campaign will help ensure that irreplaceable wildlife habitats and recreational lands, state parks, and life-enhancing outdoor activities, as well as habitat restoration and research, will happen. As a community, we must act now if we want to preserve the beauty of our great state and have the nature and wildlife to be proud of. So before I take questions, remember that donations are vital to our state's parks and wildlife continuation. Please consider donating to the Texas Parks and Wildlife Keeping It Wild campaign to help ensure that our great state of Texas continues to live up to the meaning of its name as a friend, not only to its community, but to its wildlife. Thank you. Question time. Questions?
Yes, I have 2 questions.
Okay, first one.
Why are you so passionate about this campaign?
Why am I so compassionate about this campaign? Passionate or what did you say?
Passionate.
Passionate. Okay. I am passionate about this because I grew up hunting and in the outdoors, and we rarely were allowed inside. So the Keeping It Wild campaign just seems to fit well with me and what I grew up doing.
Okay. And then my second question is, where can I find out more information about how to help this campaign?
Where you can find more information, you can go to Texas Parks and Wildlife Department and just search Keeping It Wild, or you can just go straight to Keeping It Wild and it'll pop up with all the different donations that you can give and all the different pictures and plans that they have posted for you. Thank you.
Cool.